Every year, thousands of Houston teenagers drop out of school, get in trouble with the law, join a gang, or find themselves addicted to drugs and alcohol.
Sadly, many of these teens never make a turnaround. But there is one high school in Houston determined to do just that.
So Archway was established in 2003 by a group of pretty overwhelmed and frustrated parents and mental health professionals. And sort of the philosophy behind starting the school was that kids were going away to treatment and their parents were spending a lot of money on residential treatment and therapeutic boarding schools. And the kids would come home to Houston and go back to some of the same people, places, and things in their old schools. And they really struggled staying sober.
My son, when he got out of rehab, and this is not to knock the rehab facility, but when he got out of rehab, 3 days later, he had his drug dealer on speed dial, and he made 14 calls to his drug dealer.
I started doing morphine every day on the bus with some kids while drinking and taking other drugs at the same time. I was probably going to drop out.
When you're looking at an adult, you do think as a child, why doesn't he just stop? But when you're looking at your 13 or 14-year-old child who's going through this, it's much easier to see that it really is an illness and they really do need help.
So when I was 12, I got diagnosed with a really rare form of bone cancer called osteosarcoma. Going into the chemotherapies and the surgeries and everything, and they put me on the Vicodin, the morphine. They had me on epidural. They told me I only had a 25% chance to live, pretty much. And looking back, they just wanted me comfortable. They never thought that the idea of addiction or the idea of any of this that's around me now become they never thought it would happen like that. I limp. I had this surgery done. They actually gave me the option to amputate actually, and I was contemplating it because it just seemed easier.
Nothing matters except keeping your kid alive. It is what it is. And if your kid has an addiction problem, you need to deal with it. You need to face it head on.
Morning check-in is a wonderful opportunity for kids to sort of dump out anything that could be going on with them that would get in the way of them focusing on their education every day. It's where a lot of the accountability of the school happens. It's where the kids get a chance to know each other, really bond as a community. It's where a lot of the love of the school is shared, where people really get to know each other well. And then the kids attend 6 kind of traditional academic classes. We have face-to-face teachers for all of our core classes, and kids have an opportunity to do some of their coursework online. We do very frequent and random drug testing here at Archway. That's one form of accountability. But the most impactful form of accountability comes peer-to-peer. When one student supports another student for something they're really struggling with.
I have the opportunity of picking my son and some of his friends up on Friday afternoons when they get out of school, and just listening to the way they talk to each other in the car just blows my mind. The support that they provide each other, the accountability that they hold each other to. Their daily conversation revolves around recovery.
The staff here at Archway is very unique. We have a great combination of therapeutic staff that's here in recovery. All of us are in recovery to support the students, and then the teaching staff.
And I just think the loving support of people who have been where our kids are is priceless. Having people who genuinely understand what our kids are going through.
They know when to be tolerant, they know when to let things go, and they know when to put their foot down and hold them accountable.
Coming here, there's one-on-one teachers actually talk to you. If you're having a bad day, they want to know what's going on. And my self-esteem is I'm not gonna say I'm arrogant or vain or anything, but it's skyrocketed.
It's interesting, you watch this school full of drug addicts and realize that this group of teenagers, the ones that are truly working a program, are probably the most sober group of teenagers that we have here in Houston, and it's just amazing to see.
It's challenging, it's college-oriented, it's the philosophy is let's prepare these kids for college, let's offer them the guidance that they need to get there.
No one in my family has graduated high school, and I'm kind of the last chance. No one's made it to senior year, so I've already not even graduated yet, gone further in school than everyone else in my family.
After I started getting sober and came here, I found opportunity. And hopefully next year, if my SATs come in good and I make good enough grades, I'll be going to Texas Tech.
90% of the kids that graduate from Archway are currently attending college. Some of them have stayed close to Houston to continue their work with their sponsors. A lot of kids have launched off to some pretty amazing schools.
Yeah. Yep. I'm very excited because, I mean, I worked really so hard. To a lot of people, graduating isn't that hard for them. There's so many road like detours and blocks that I've had to make my way through. I can't even imagine that feeling is gonna be like, 'cause I've never achieved something so important in my life. Like, recovery, yeah. I mean, it's pretty huge, but something I'll always have forever. Like, you know, like something I can't ever do over again. Something that no one else in generations of my family's ever had in their hands, I'm gonna have. And it's only 3 months away.